Thank you so much for joining us this evening. I'm Cassandra Mueller. I'm the Director of Artistic Planning here at New World Symphony, and I'm so happy to be joining our wonderful Artistic Director, Maestro Stéphane Deneuve. We're going to be giving you a sneak peek of our 25-26 season, some of the key themes, special concerts, a couple of big projects. So to get things started, can you talk to us about what are some of the big themes we'll be seeing in this coming season?
Bonsoir, Cassandra.
Bonsoir.
Bonsoir, everybody. Good evening, and thank you all for being here with us. Right before we speak about the new season, I hope you enjoy the current season. Our fellows are exceptional, and I am very excited for this new season. And if you were there last weekend, by the way, you attended maybe what is one of the direction of the future of classical music. And be sure that we will continue in this unique institution, this exploration, and we will push for sure the art form forward with all the capacities that we can experience here. So just this new season in Nobles will be, we'll see a very, very, very big amount of repertoire, very varied, spanning more than 3 centuries, and we of course will offer you the big milestones of the repertoire. So starting with Haydn, Mozart, Beethoven Symphony, Brahms Symphony, Tchaikovsky, Dvorak Symphony, Mahler Symphony as well, Ravel, etc., etc. But we will have a lot of music of our time too, with 20 living composers featured. And as you will see very soon when we'll go into details, the list of our guest artists is phenomenal. I'm very proud with the world-class people that will share the stage here. And we will collaborate with a great institution here, the Miami City Ballet, and I can't wait to tell you more about that. And we will also celebrate modern masterworks, as we did now the last few seasons, especially American ones, like some by John Adams, who will be here. And we will focus also on the 250th anniversary of America. So plenty to speak in details, but we should start with some good music. So I would like to introduce, if you may, the fellows Jordan Gunn playing the cello, and Noah Sanderling, and they will play Manuel de Falla, Suite Popular Espagnole, El Paño Moruno.
Thank you so much, Jordan and Noah. Some of you may know Defia's music from a 2022 concert we did called Spanish Dances with conductor Carlos Miguel Prieto, and we are very happy he is joining us again next season for a full Pan-American concert. It's going to include Ginastera's concert variations, which I think is a great piece for our fellows. Each variation features a different instrument in their own beautiful feature, and sometimes also very difficult. So it's good experience for the fellows. And then Karen Gomio will also be joining us again on Bernstein's Serenade, beautiful violin concerto. And then the second half of the program is a really fun mix of Latin American party pieces, including a piece by Juan Pablo Contreras, which is based on mariachi music. So it should be very fun. And that is in November, but before that, we have our season opening concert with you. Can you tell us a little bit about how we are going to be starting off the season?
Thank you, Cassandra. And we will start with heroes. And of course here, our heroes are the fellows, but the full concert will actually speak about the concept of the hero. The second part of the concert will be Beethoven's Eroica Symphony. I don't think it needs to be presented. It will be the pièce de résistance, really resistance. And in the first part of the concert, we will pair Beethoven with two American pieces. The first one is actually called Shupsha, Harriet's Drive to Canaan, and it is composed by James Lee III, a composer I adore. And this piece is a portrait of a great heroine, for sure, Harriet Tubman, voilà, James Lee, the famed abolitionist, activist, and former slave who helped some 70 slaves escape to the north along the Underground Railroad. And Shupsha, by the way, is an ancient Hebrew word for freedom. And so we will perform this really very, very charged and emotional piece with Copland, and it will be the Lincoln Portrait, and a very, of course, important piece written in 1942 during the Second World War. At the same time, the Fanfare for the Common Man was composed. And it's actually quote even the Gettysburg Address, and says, "Government of the people, by the people, for the people." And we will have a special narrator, but this is only a teaser, because we'll announce later who is that famous person. So voilà, this will be the first concert of our season.
Perfect. Very excited for our special narrator guests, but maybe we can talk about an amazing world-class soloist who we are ready to talk about. And we love having these amazing soloists come and work with our fellows. It's so inspiring for them, both to perform with them, but they also get to take master classes and coachings, and it's a great part of their development as musicians. And many of them we're able to bring because they have such great relationships with you. And one of those is Nikolai Shep-Snyder, who will be making his debut with us.
So Nikolai is an old friend of mine now, and arguably one of the top violinists in the world today. He plays an extraordinary violin, by the way. He plays a violin that was used by Fritz Kreisler to perform and to premiere the Elgar violin concerto. And he has an incredible sound, not only because of the violin, but because of the way he plays it. Mm-hmm. And you can hear a little bit of the fabulous sound of Nikolai in this clip. you certainly recognize the Tchaikovsky violin concerto, and that is the concerto he will play here. So if you like that, thank you. And in the program as well, there will be a French piece, which is celebrating different Russian composers of the past, and it's a piece from another great friend of mine, Guillaume Connaisson. So some of you maybe have heard the world premiere we did at the end of last season of Guillaume Connaisson, which was a street season that was played right before the Rite of Spring. And so you have a chance to discover another colorful piece of Guillaume Connaisson here. And in a way to unite the world, we will pair this Tchaikovsky piece, French piece, as well of Connaisson with a great American symphony by Florence Price. Yes. And I'm so happy that Florence Price, the past years, finally received the success that she deserves. I do love her third symphony, which was only published actually in 2008. Can you imagine that? And her first symphony was premiered by the Chicago Symphony. It was the first time an African-American female composer would be premiered by a major orchestra. And this symphony, the third symphony that we'll play, has a unique American sound. There is some blues in it. There is some African-American influence with a beautiful juba dance, by the way, inside of it. And it is mixed with some kind of more traditional symphonic style. And the two of those makes really a masterwork, which I think you will love to hear and or to discover, really.
Looking forward to that one. Now, you touched on this a little bit, but another thing you've really brought to New World is exploring modern masterworks, and what are these works being created by living composers that are going to become part of the 21st century canon. Can you tell us about our concert that we're going to have in January with John Adams and Vikingur Olafsson?
Okay, here's another one I'm very excited about. By the way, often people ask me, like, what is your favorite program? And it's a little bit the same as asking me, like, what is your favorite child? You know, like you can't answer that. But
well, to be fair, Alma's an only child.
I have an only child. Yes,
yeah,
okay.
So
that's true.
Hopefully, you have a favorite.
So she's my favorite. Yes. And we do this concert to start with Vikingur Olafsson, who is an extraordinary pianist and recently had a Grammy Award, I think, for his interpretation of Bach, and he will perform the new concerto of John Adams, brand new concerto, which was inspired by Bach and by the way Vikingur Olafsson plays Bach, which is really special. So maybe to be inspired first, like John Adams, let's listen to a bit of Bach played by Vikingur Olafsson, the Icelandic pianist. this was an excerpt from the Goldberg variations of Johann Sebastian Bach. And I have to, looking at the video, I was surprised, of course, how serious artists look like on stage, because I can tell you that he's very, very funny as well. He has a great sense of humor. So we will celebrate an icon, really, the father of a figure of the American music today, who is John Adams. And I love his music since I'm a child. He has so many masterworks that are played all over the world, obviously. And a few years ago, when I was a music director in Stuttgart, at the Stuttgart Radio, we dedicated a full season on his music. And I met him at this occasion as well, and in Amsterdam at the Concertgebouw. And he's a great conductor. I saw him conduct the Concertgebouw Orchestra. And so I proposed him, say like, please, can we share this week together and make a full program of your music and try to inspire the fellows and you with a big span of your art. So he will conduct the first part of the concert, and I will conduct the second. And he will start with the Chairman Dances, one of his greatest masterworks, which is a suite from the opera Nixon in China. And after that, he will play the most recent piece, which is the fourth piano concerto that was premiered not so long ago, actually.
No, I think this season.
A few months ago. Mm-hmm. It's an amazing new concerto. We after that, I will conduct myself his music, and I can't wait to have myself a master class of how to conduct John Adams, thanks to the composer being present. You know, very often I wish I could, ask a question to Beethoven and have his phone number, but he's not there. So in this case, it's wonderful. I will ask many questions, and I will conduct a piece that is very meaningful because it's called I Still Dance. And that's a recent piece that John Adams composed for our dear, beloved MTT in San Francisco to celebrate his 25 years in San Francisco. And the reason of the title, I Still Dance, is a beautiful story because the husband of Michael, as you know, is Joshua Robinson, and they were speaking with John Adams, Joshua, and John and Michael, and Joshua happens to be a very, very, very expert of swing dancing, and so he said to John Adams, "Well, I'm a swing dancer, and you know what? I still dance." And so John Adams said, like, that's a good title. So we'll perform I Still Dance, and we'll end the concert with a piece I love, another excerpt of an opera from Dr. Atomic, the opera of 2005, which musically follows Oppenheimer before and after the atomic bomb was dropped. So we will play the Dr. Atomic Symphony to end this concert. So I love this program. I hope you too.
Yeah, it's going to be such a great chance to do a real deep dive into his music, whether you know and love him well or you're new to his music. It's going to be a great exploration. And I think that's something we love to do here at New World with our concerts is both let the fellows and our audience members sort of go on a journey with us or tell them a story or like really explore a theme. Which brings us to a March concert we have with great violinist Augustin Hadlich about the Hollywood sound. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yes, it's another fascination for me. I love this country. And I'm certainly fascinated by the birth of the Hollywood sound. It came from Austrian and German composers fleeing Europe during the rise of Nazi time, as you all know. And we will start the concert with a piece by Max Steiner. And it's very interesting because Max Steiner was a student of Brahms. He took lessons with Brahms himself. And he was the godson of Richard Strauss. And so we will start with his piece because in 1933, one of the first, if not the first, movie that was synchronizing a soundtrack to the movie was King Kong. And so...
I think we have a little clip.
Voila! And as I just told you, since the godfather of Max Steiner wrote this music was Richard Strauss, how about some Richard Strauss music? So the second part of the concert will play Also sprach Zarathustra. And everybody, of course, knows the beginning, the sunrise, because it was famously used in 2001, A Space Odyssey, right? So there is a connection with the world of film that Strauss didn't know, but still. But sometimes some people forget or even don't know that after this famous music, there is another 30 minutes of music, which is a full symphonic poem. So we'll play the full symphonic poem. And the other composer on this program is Erich Korngold, who also left Europe and went here in America and wrote so many amazing soundtracks. So we will play the Seahawk, which is an epic really music, and also his violin concerto, which is interesting because the violin concerto also uses some music that were written for film. The movies are not so well known anymore. I don't know if you heard about Juarez or Another Dawn, Anthony Adverse, which also is featured in this concerto. And this concerto will be played by Augustin Hadelich, top artist, of course, of our world today. And it will be the first time he plays this concerto. So it's a great honor that he accepted to do it here. And it's a concerto dedicated to Alma Mahler. So as you can see, there is a lot of interesting connection here between Europe and America in the birth of the Hollywood sound.
Beautiful. I heard a rumor that you may have helped encourage Augustine to learn that concerto.
Oh, yes.
Yes.
Indeed, I really advised him. I said, like, come on, you have to learn this one. He said, I never learned it yet. And so it takes the effort. He's very busy, obviously, by a huge career to learn a new concerto which is scored gold. So I'm very proud indeed to have convinced him.
You're a very good influence. Yeah.
Let's hope.
Okay, so we have covered your love of film music, your love of modern masterworks, the great artists you work with. Now, in sort of thinking about the key sort of Stéphane programs, I don't know if anyone has noticed, but Stéphane is French.
Oui.
And we also love working with French artists.
Well, the most American of the French artists is certainly Jean-Yves Thibaudet. So Jean-Yves will be back here, and he's the most glamorous indeed. Actually, I have to say, pretentiously, I'm slowly becoming the most American French conductor. You know, I live in this country, and I love it. So
we've nicknamed this concert Two Parisians in America.
Voilà. Which is the case. And Jean-Yves is very special to me as well. As you notice, I think it's very important. Music puts people together, and on stage and off stage. And so one of the blessings of my life, really, something that is so wonderful is the possibility to meet amazing people from all over the world. And it creates this kind of feeling of big family. But in the case of Jean-Yves, he's really family, because I met my wife thanks to him. And he also became my best man. Voila. I wanted to share. So he's there behind me. Behind my wife, voila. And so voila, this is long time ago. And I'm happily married ever after, something like that. So indeed, Jean-Yves is very special, and he will play a fabulous piece by Bernstein, the Symphony No. 2, The Age of Anxiety. And he will also play some Gershwin, because his program is mixing those two composers. You know, we celebrate America indeed. So we'll have also an American in Paris, obviously, of Gershwin, and I Got Rhythm. And maybe as a teaser.
Can we invite out Noah Sonderling again to give us a little sample of Gershwin?
Thank you. Wonderful.
Amazing.
Yeah, and Gershwin wrote some variations as a concerto on this I Got Rhythm theme. So you'll hear an expanded version of that theme with orchestra and solo piano.
Fantastic. It's going to be a great way to end the season. Well, those are a couple of the highlights we're hitting of our season here at New World Center. But there are just so many artists, and we could be here all evening talking. Conductor Manfred Honeck is coming, cellist Johannes Moser. So there's a lot to get excited about. And this space is so unique and amazing for the fellows to be playing in. It's a really intimate concert hall, and we have so much great technology here. I'm sure you've seen where we have the projections. We can do great lighting here and everything. But we also, it's great for our fellows to have the chance to perform in a more traditional concert hall. And it's fantastic that we get to go and perform over at the Arsht 3 times a season. We can do large things that are in a major concert hall, things with really big chorus that might not fit in here.
And I have to jump in because please, in 1 week from now, at the Arsht Center, we're about to perform an incredible piece, The War Requiem by Benjamin Britten, a piece that brought the enemies together and in a spirit of reconciliation. And we have a cast. I mean, I have to pinch myself to believe that we could have this star aligning. So Christine Gerke will be the soprano, Jan Bostridge will be the tenor solo, and Roderick Williams, the baritone, the Master Florida Choral, and all our fellows, I mean, a children choir as well. I mean, this is a huge and rare piece to be performed. So really, please join us for this War Requiem in 1 week, and of course to our other 3 programs at the Arch next season.
Yes. We'll start the Arsht season next year with you conducting another one of your favorite composers with the best of John Williams.
Yes. I mean, what can I say? I love the man, and I love his music. And as we all know, he wrote the soundtrack of our lives. John, here is he. And we will have a lot of fun exploring some famous, of course, soundtracks that everybody wants to hear. So you will have, of course, some Harry Potter and Star Wars, but some other pieces more rare and a unique presentation. So yes, this should be a great celebration of one of the greatest genius alive, John Williams.
Fantastic. And then our January concert at the Arsht is going to feature conductor Andrew Grams and the Marcus Roberts Trio doing their unique improvised jazz trio version of Rhapsody in Blue. And the whole concert is going to be sort of a jazz meets symphony experience. So in addition to the Gershwin, we're going to have Ellington's Black, Brown, and Beige, and also Ellington's version of the Tchaikovsky Nutcracker Suite. And rounding out that program is going to be another jazzy ballet by French composer Milhaud, The Creation of the World. Or when he says it,
La création du monde.
It sounds so much better. And then you are back with us for our 3rd concert in March at the Arsht, featuring mezzo Kelly O'Connor, the Master Chorale of South Florida, our great partners, and Daphnis and Chloe.
Yes, and I can't wait because Daphnis and Chloe is for any French conductor like paradise. It's a almost 1 hour long, huge, gorgeous, sensual ballet music with big choir. And so I can't wait to dive with a fellow into this extraordinary masterwork. But I would like to actually point the first piece of the program even more, because this is actually another masterwork that is standing the test of time and is becoming core repertoire. And I speak about the Neruda songs by Peter Lieberson. And Daphnis et Chloe is a very romantic story, love story. I wouldn't say romantic, but love story for sure. And this Lieberson piece is so extraordinarily romantic already from its time it was composed, because Lieberson fell in love with the singer Lauren Hunt and wrote a piece to her in secret. And he took 5 love poems of Pablo Neruda and surprised her with a piece that is clearly inspired by his infinite love for her. And Kelly O'Connor will sing those songs, and I had the great privilege to perform this piece a few times with her when, if I may say that, when Lauren Hunt passed away, because this is a sad story. Lauren Hunt had tragically a cancer, and so left this earth way too soon. But the peace is eternal, and the love is eternal, and Kelly O'Connor became the kind of successor, I would say, the legacy, and worked with Peter Lieberson as well. And I performed this piece with her at the Concertgebouw in Amsterdam, and it was one of the most moving moments of my life. It's really extremely profoundly touching. So I hope you will join us for this evening of love, the Neruda song and Daphne et Chloé.
And then if you haven't joined us at the Arch Center before, we highly recommend you come see us across the bridges. I think there's one more really special project for next season that we want to highlight. So can you introduce to us our American Dance Odyssey?
Okay. I love to mix the arts, as you know. This place is a great location to do that. And in this case, we will make choreographing and dance art and music together, and we will have the Miami City Ballet with us here in this building, and we will start by a big homage to Jerome Robbins. As you know, Jerome Robbins was also a collaborator with Bernstein, so it's very coherent with the rest of the season. So we'll do that in the first part, but then the second part of the concert will be not 1, not 2, not 3, but 5 world premieres by 5 composers who will write a piece of about 5 to 7 minutes. I don't know yet, because it's not yet fully written. And we will make that a kind of choreographic concerto or choreographic symphony. And it will be Jennifer Higdon, who you know because last year she was featured in the Modern Masterworks with an amazing piece, Blue Cathedral. It will be Sarah Kirkland-Snyder. It will be Kevin Putz and Michael Abels and Carlos Simon. So it's an amazing lineup of the most well-esteemed composers in America today, and they all will write a piece that will be choreographed for the first time, obviously, here. So this is really a very huge project, and well, something I think that will create a brand new symphony made by 5 different composers.
Amazing. And I think we have a little clip of our past collaborations with Miami City Ballet to give you a taste of what might be in store. And I'll just add that is a special concert, and limited tickets are going to be available for it. So the best way to secure your seats and also to get the best prices for them is to add it on to your subscription, and all of our wonderful staff can help you do that out in the lobby after we conclude this. We're getting towards the end of this evening, and so we will get to have a brief Q&A later. If you have any questions, we're going to put up a QR code, and you can go ahead and submit any questions you have for us. But while you're thinking up what you might want to ask Stéphane, we're going to have one more performance with our fellows. So I'd like to welcome out again Noah Sonderling on piano, Hannah Corbett on violin, Vishnu Ramankuti on viola, Jordan Gunn on cello, and Ian Grems as a bassist, performing the scherzo from Schubert's Trout Quintet. But another really important part of our fellows programming is their chamber music concerts. And so Hannah has really kindly agreed to talk to us a little bit about her experience with chamber music here at New World.
Thanks everyone so much for coming. I'm so happy to be talking about the chamber music portion of next season. Chamber music is my favorite part of what we get to do here at New World. Orchestra is great, but there's really nothing that compares to getting to play so closely with so many of my treasured colleagues, like the ones on stage. The piece you just heard was Schubert's Trout Quintet. It will be a part of next season, so if you liked what you heard and you want to hear more, definitely check that out next season. I'd love to highlight one visiting artist in our chamber music series that I am most excited to either see and hear or work with myself. Martin Beaver is a Canadian violinist who's going to be visiting from LA. He's the former first violinist of the Tokyo String Quartet. He'll be performing Barber's String Quartet, which is just a really eclectic and zany, fresh work, but also contains, as the second movement, Barber's famous Adagio for strings, which is one of the most moving and emotional pieces ever written for our instruments, and what a treasure to get to either play or hear that next season. I'm also really excited that New World is programming so much music by living composers. We're programming over 15 living composers in our subscription and our chamber music concerts. Some I'd love to highlight just as a fellow is John Adams' visit here, as well as programming the music of Jennifer Higdon and Jessie Montgomery. I'm also super proud that we'll be programming the music of 14 women composers. This is super important to me, really special that so many of these amazing composers will have their music highlighted both in the chamber music series and in our subscription concerts. Finally, I'd love to talk about the 22 visiting guest artists that we're going to have a chance to work with. Personally, I'm most excited about Augustine Hadalique's visit. As a violinist, he's kind of the king among kings. I can imagine, not to speak for everybody else, but I'm sure many of the violin fellows would agree with me that he is just truly one of a kind. My favorite violinist personally, so yeah, I'm really excited to get a chance to play some more chamber music for you next season, and I hope to see you at many of our concerts. Thank you so much.
Bravo. Bravo.
Okay, great. We have a couple of questions coming in. Are you ready?
Sure.
Amazing.
Thank you.
So, I love this one. Now that you're spending more time with us here in Miami Beach, how has Miami Beach inspired your music and programming choices?
Well, I find it very, very, very sunny. And so I always think about this place with a feeling of joy. And so it's interesting to see the spirit. I think that somehow it's an international hub here, and you have really people speaking many, many different languages. And I have been very, very inspired by that aspect, and I really want to offer music of the world here as well. And there is a feeling of modernity. You know, we performed the Anna Klein's new concerto for orchestra palette, and I just had the feeling that this was something new. So when I think about Miami, I think about something new, something modern, something international, and that does affect my programming.
Oh, it's beautiful. I'm also going to say having all of the projections and the technical possibilities here is probably another aspect of it too.
Well, it's unique. It's unique. There's really no other place in the world that has such an incredible media team. They are so talented, and they deliver week after week some amazing new way to use technology in order to create art. And this is a care that people have here. They just really just want to do something that will be a very special experience. And as the art world today, I think, get into always more fluidity between the different art forms, I think this place is really at the forefront for it.
It's fantastic. It's a lot of fun, too. Next question. So if you could take one album to a desert island, what would it be?
Oh. 4 minutes 33 of John Cage to count time a little bit. No, it's very difficult actually. The famous desert island. I mean, because I have so much music in my head. What is fabulous is that with music you're never alone, because you sing some melodies and you think about, and it's quite amazing. I have to say, I'm always so sorry that restaurants have music all the time, because we don't need that. We have it. It's there. So if I was in that island, I would try to remember all the music that I've been able to memorize, and so many amazing melodies, and I will not use any recording.
Okay. Just in case that question was meant for me, the Carlos Kleiber's recording of La Traviata.
Oh, really? That's amazing, yes.
I don't actually have an album. I do have it on cassette tape.
A cassette of color.
And I haven't been able to get rid of it. And then I know we're running a little short on time, but I want to squeeze in one more question. So this audience member enjoyed hearing Anna Klein's palette last weekend.
Thank you.
Are there more commissions planned next year?
Yes, we have actually quite an amount of new commissions.
We mainly touch, I mean, there are the 5 big commissions that are happening with the Dance Odyssey project. And I'm also going to brag a little bit here, because I don't think Stéphane is much too modest to say this, but it's when you're writing through some of like the great, very busy working composers right now, and you say, we have a special project that Stéphane wants to conduct, can you make room in your schedule to do this? And all 5 of the people we went to first said they were in. You know you have something really, really special here.
Thank you, Cassandra. That's very kind.
Yeah.
But we have Valerie Coleman, actually.
Oh, yeah.
Thank you. No, once again, music is about putting people together, and over the years to develop some personal relationship with great composers of today is something very, very important to me. So I'm very happy indeed that we can have a direct access to them, and that they would make effort to accommodate our dreams in their busy schedule today, actually. But yes, we have a new work for percussion by Alejandro Viñao, with an Argentinian composer, and we'll have in the Renaissance Festival, we'll do a Renaissance concerto by Valerie Coleman. And
we were co-commissioners on this with Philadelphia Orchestra and some other major orchestras, and it's one of her, she's a fantastic composer, and this will be a great feature for the orchestra. Again, I think we really like working on these projects that aren't as much about like featuring a soloist, but really getting to feature the orchestra so that our fellows get the benefit when we're commissioning these pieces. Yeah. Bringing it all back to the fellows. So thank you so much for joining us here. We'll be out in the lobby afterwards in case there are any questions we couldn't get to.
Yes, I will be there, happy to meet you, happy to drink something with you. It's time, right?
Yeah.
So I really hope you will enjoy this spectacular season we put together with you, and I would like to thank Cassandra, because all of that would not be possible without her extremely dedicated work, the countless hours she spent, calling people, agents, whoever, to bring all those great artists, composers, and concoct this magnificent season. So it's a collaborative work, and I thank you, Cassandra, for your work. Really.
Let's do it again next year.